St. Louis, who's always in demand, especially with neighborhood organizations. First, welcome to the Central West End NSI Security Forum. At the end of the presentation, we'll have an opportunity to ask questions. So we appreciate any newcomers and certainly those that are constant faces here. If you didn't get the announcement, we're going to start. We're going to limit the number of meetings we have throughout the year. So our next meeting won't be next month, it'll be in May. So we'll go every other month. We're going to skip June and July, and November and December we'll skip also. So, but our office is always open. You're always welcome to call us if you need anything. Our guest speaker tonight is Jennifer Joyce, and for those of you that don't know, she is the circuit attorney for the city of St. Louis. She has been since January of 2001. She heads an office of over 150 investigators, attorneys, and staff, and with that, their caseload is about 5,000 felonies and 8,000 misdemeanor cases per year, so that's quite a bit. Prior to her election as circuit attorney, Jennifer served as an assistant circuit attorney from 1994 to 2001. She's personally tried every type of criminal case there could be, including rape, child abuse, assault, armed robbery, car theft, drug trafficking, and weapons offenses. So she's a very seasoned attorney, not to mention leading a high-profile political office for the city of St. Louis. Prior to her work at the circuit attorney's office, she was in practice at Pieper, Martin, Jensen, Michael, and Hartridge, now Hush, Blackwell, and Sanders. She's a lifelong resident of the city of St. Louis. Jennifer graduated from St. Louis University Law School in 1990. She holds leadership positions in many civic and professional organizations, including the Missouri Bar Association, Missouri Association of Prosecuting Attorneys, St. Louis Regional Crime Commission, the Backstoppers, and Big Brothers Big Sisters. So please welcome our guest speaker tonight, Jennifer Joyce.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you for that introduction. I don't know how I feel about being called seasoned. At some point, so it's good to see that Jim White is working with you all. I go way back with him. We're both seasoned. And
I don't like it either.
if I could tell a story, when I was a brand new prosecutor, one of the things we encourage prosecutors to do is go on ride-alongs with the police. Because we're lawyers, we don't really know that much about what's going on in the streets when we get out of law school. And I used to love to do that. And one of my first ride-alongs was with Jim and his partner. And we were up, I forget where, somewhere in North St. Louis, and we were driving around all night, and I was just fascinated. He was in Mobile Reserve, and they were pulling over cars, and I was just fascinated. And we stopped and pulled up at this one lady's house, and I got the impression that she was someone who probably wasn't the most model citizen, but you guys as police officers had developed her as kind of a source, and you checked in with her from time to time to get information to pursue investigations. And she comes up to the car and she's talking to Officer White, his partner, and she looks in the back seat at me. And I'm wearing jeans and my law school sweatshirt turned inside out, just trying to be nondescript. And she goes, "What did this girl do?" And do you remember this? And they said, "Wow, I'm sorry, we're not in a position, we can't really talk about it." And she comes back and she looks in the mirror and she looks at me real close and she goes, "Oh yeah, this little girl is up here every night trying to buy dope." That's my Jim White story. Now, I'm so excited to be here tonight. I guess my main message, what I want to do, well, first, before I start that, I have a little bit of an entourage with me tonight I have to introduce. You guys know Neil Miller, who's your neighbor, and he's in our Sex Crimes and Child Abuse Unit. I don't have time to tell you all my Neil Miller stories, but suffice to say, he's a valued member of the office. And Patrick Comaker is a new attorney in our office, and he's back there. And then Joe Hoeing, who is also seasoned, and he's a retired police lieutenant and is an investigator in our office. I guess my main message for you guys tonight, Central West End is such a fantastic neighborhood. I mean, it really is one of the marquee neighborhoods of the entire region. And I know that there is a real commitment on the part of the people that live here and our property owners here to do whatever they can to fight crime in their neighborhood. And I guess I want to kind of be a cheerleader for you on that, and I want to make sure that you know that in order to really effectively fight crime in your neighborhoods, you have to really take action. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here with the people here, but you guys are all influential in your groups, in your neighborhoods, in your streets, and I really want you to talk this up. Because the fact of the matter is, you know, you can have millions of police officers out on the street, if that's what you want, and I don't think any of us wants to live in that kind of a community. You can have millions of prosecutors, and you can just throw all these resources at the problem, but if you don't have the active involvement of the citizens, real active involvement, you're not going to accomplish anything. And I know people here support financially their security bureau. What is the name of the?
Neighborhood Security Initiative.
Neighborhood Security Initiative, which is fantastic. But it takes more than that to accomplish the goal that you want to accomplish. And I asked for some stats to be run from this neighborhood, and what we saw when we ran the stats was last year, 60% of the cases that were brought to us from the Central West End that we had to refuse. The reason was because there was a citizen who didn't want to get involved. So there was a large number of cases from the Central West End where someone committed a crime, the police officer arrested somebody for that crime, they brought him into the warrant office, and we could not issue charges because we lacked the involvement of either a witness or the victim. So it takes more than just funding financially security officers. It actually takes involvement. And it's a classic example where, you know, when we arrest people, bring them in, and we can't charge them and they go back out on the street, what kind of message are we sending to them? You know, keep doing it because nothing's going to happen to you. The neighborhood ownership model, I don't know if you guys have heard of that, or different people call it different things, but it's kind of a movement that's going on around the city. And it has several different features and components. We're seeing great success in the neighborhoods where this is underway, such as in the Lafayette Square neighborhood, the Dutchtown neighborhood, the Bevo neighborhood is having success with it, and there's neighborhoods up in North St. Louis, North Point. There's no reason why it can't be really successful here as well. There's a number of different strategies involved. We did a little brochure in my office that just kind of outlines what the different strategies are. You're welcome to take one when you leave. There is no one-size-fits-all. Every neighborhood takes this program and customizes it to what makes sense and what works for them. But the key features of it is that it's citizen-driven and it's citizen-owned. It's not Jennifer Joyce's program that I bring to you and it'll solve all your problems, or Chief Eisen's program, or Mayor Slay's program. It's an organic program from the citizens. I just noticed that I have another entourage member, Rachel Smith, in the back there, who's a prosecutor in our office. We're trying to outnumber you guys.